HorrorCast.
This is a new war.
Let the gaming begin.
Hey, this is Dena.
This is Tony.
Welcome to this episode of the HorrorCast for February 2012, your podcast for all things horror related. We considered discontinuing the show after December because there was no way we were ever going to top that.
Yeah, that's...
It won't be the same without Guy Seehey, but we'll trudge on somehow.
Yeah, if I can just remember to call him by the right name, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, but seriously, if you somehow missed the epic 3-part interview we did with Guy Seehey, the original voice of James Sunderland from Silent Hill 2, go listen to it.
Yeah. Yes. Also, just a little tidbit on the HD collection on Silent Hill. It has been pushed back to March 24th, I believe, now.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's coming out the same month as Downpour, which is kind of random. I don't know why they did that, but...
Yeah, it seems like 2012 is the year of Silent Hill, because they got the HD collection, they got Downpour, and then they got that 2D shooter thing.
The Silent Hill dungeon crawler.
Yeah, dungeon. Yeah, guys, I don't know about you, but when I think of Silent Hill, I think dungeon crawler.
Yeah, multiplayer dungeon crawler at that.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we're not fans of Is anyone fans of Book of Memories?
It's cute, but I mean, I won't brag about it.
Yeah.
Like, guess what I got? I got Silent Hill Book of Memories. She's like, why? Now it's just time for our obligatory plugs. Dena, darling, do you have anything you want to discuss or talk about that you're doing right now? You recently just put up a new video involving your scarred memories on Sesame Street. So. Yeah,
I did post something kind of horror related recently. It's a little video called Top 10 Most Disturbing Moments on Sesame Street. It did pretty well. Not everyone agreed with my choices, but no one really was a jackass about it, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll post a link to that below in case anyone missed it. And I believe you posted a video recently?
Yeah, I finally, after months of delays and 2 robberies, actually.
Oh God.
Yeah, I've been robbed twice in the same house, which is why I'm considering moving as soon as I can afford. But
yeah.
Anyway, after months of let's just say hardships, I have finally put out at least the first video of my Saw retrospective. I filmed the first 3 like back to back, and I'm gonna release those 3. The first one's already out, and the reason why I haven't released the other 2 yet is I'm planning a big, well, not a big thing, but kind of a big to-do for my 100th Blip episode. So I'm kind of halting production until I can get all of that taken care of, and then I still got my MagFest interviews, the rest of those to put up, and I'm not gonna lie, the first 3 are very. I mean, don't expect a whole lot, because, I mean, just in terms of, like, I was very, like, okay, let's just get through this shit and just get through it. So, I mean, because I was very, you can tell in my voice in the first one, I'm very much just trying to get through it. But that's not because I did not like what I was doing. It was just, I had just been through so much in the past few months that it was just like okay, time to be happy, you know. But yeah, got an awesome voice by Welshie as the voice of Jigsaw on there, so that was awesome. And with this first 3, I'm trying to find out like what works and what doesn't. So I would encourage you to watch the first one and just I would appreciate some constructive criticism as far as like what you liked and what you didn't like, because I know nothing about this whole type of shtick. I'm going very out of my element on this, so yeah.
Okay. Admittedly, I have not watched it yet because I'm guessing it contains spoilers.
Yeah, I pretty much go through the entire movie.
Yeah, and I haven't had a chance to watch the movie yet, but this gives me extra incentive to finally get off my butt and watch that damn movie. I don't care about the other Saw movies, but I do want to see this one. I think I mentioned this a while back, but I ended up seeing a chunk of it on TV one night, just like some spot in the middle. And it was not what I was expecting. It was two guys trapped in a room together and trying to figure out why they're there and how they know each other, and it was just very character driven. It was nothing that would earn that torture porn label. I'm guessing that starts to pick up in the sequels.
Yeah, very much so. That's kind of the unfortunate part, is that after the third one, Saw 4 marks the first one that the original writer leaves the franchise, like as the writer. He's still on there as like the producer. So I mean, take that for what you will.
Mm.
The people that wrote Saws 4 through 7, I'm not going to say they're bad writers. I will say they're not good writers. But okay, for anybody that has ever seen the Feast franchise, it is rather for those that haven't, it is like just gore for gore's sake. It's just it's just not good. I mean, it's gore that is so absurd that it's funny.
That's not always a bad thing.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on if that's what they're going for, I guess.
The first one is very much like that. The other two, they try to do the same thing, and it just doesn't do it at all. But yeah, take that for what you will. I would have very much preferred Saw to have stayed at a trilogy and left at that, because even after the second one, the quality just seems to go down throughout the entire franchise. And also, happiness time. I have finally gotten from the lovely Dena the voiceover for our Queen of the Damned crossover. the crossover a year in the making.
You just had to bring that up, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, at last year's MagFest, the one that I was able to go to, we filmed a crossover, and it took me like a year to finally do the voiceover work he needed because I suck.
Yeah, no, it wasn't because you suck. You had more important things going on. You know, I'm just worried now because this thing's been hyped up so much. It's like a crossover a year in the making, and then it's just like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, if you do that, people are gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it as epic as I can, but I'm gonna try. It's just like,
Wonderful.
just put in like random explosions just for no apparent reason. I'll Michael Bay it.
Wonderful.
Alright, and now on to our horror game of the month. Now, this one is a personal favorite of mine, just because it's fucking creepy. Horror games in and of themselves, they evoke a certain type of feeling. That feeling obviously being fear, obviously. But if you imagine an adventure, like if Silent Hill was an adventure type of genre, like a graphic adventure type genre, and in first person, you have what I consider to be a very underrated gem called Echo Knight. This game was made by Aztec, like back in 1999, I believe. Yeah, it is. Again, I cannot stress this enough. This is really fucking creepy. It's pretty much a ghost story, adventure ghost book story, done with the first-person perspective. On PlayStation technology, like really freaking awesome. I'll be honest, I cannot remember all the details because I have not played this game in years. But I still have I still have like scarred memories of this game because there are instances where for every ghost you come into contact with, or at least this is how I remember it, at least for certain ghosts, you have to find something that belongs to them to quell their spirit.
That's interesting.
Like there's this one little girl ghost that will constantly, like, when you enter a room, she'll like cut the lights off and on, and like make shit fly at your face and everything. And you have to find like a doll or a teddy bear that belonged to her to release her spirit and everything. And it's just, while you're doing that, you have to deal with other ghosts as well. And, you know, it's just really creepy. You cannot really put into words just how creepy this is. They did release a sequel in Japan for the PlayStation 2 called Echo Night Beyond. I think in 2006 it came out. The PlayStation 2 sequel is incredibly hard to find. It is like one of the rarest games on the PS2 that I have tried to track down.
I've never played that game, but I played a demo of it once. I guess it was probably the sequel, because I think I remember playing it on PS2, and I'm not sure how I felt about the fact that ghosts can literally scare you to death.
See,
I'm not saying it's bad. It was a little weird. I'm not sure. I guess I just wasn't quite sure what to think of that.
Yeah, well, the idea was, like, when you were confronted by a ghost, like, you would have to, it's kind of like in the clock tower type of thing, where you would have to leave the room or leave the area before your heart rate goes too high up and you die of a heart attack, basically.
I'm trying to remember if I remember that happening in the clock tower game.
It's basically well in Clock Tower, you had to pretty much do the same. You had to pretty much do the same thing, but like the only difference is in Clock Tower, when your heart rate went up, that affected how you did certain things. Like
That's true, because there were things that could hurt you by just like basically scaring the crap out of you, and
yeah,
you would have to get away from them before your life drained away.
Yeah,
I'd sort of forgotten about that.
Yeah,
at least in the Super Nintendo version, anyway.
Yeah, and I think for the PlayStation version of Clock Tower, they would like if your heart rate was really up and you were trying to open a door, like if you were really like stressed out or whatever, it would sometimes take several times to get the door open just because of you being fidgety or whatever. But Echo Night Beyond, the sequel is different because it's in space.
Okay, the second one is the one that I played the demo for then, because I sort of remember it being on a space station or something.
Yeah, but yeah, guys, Echo Night, the original Echo Night for PlayStation. If you can, in some way, shape, or form, get a hold of this, please do. I'll be honest. First off, it's a first-person survival horror. I mean, you don't have many of those out there. That's a genre that it's like there's like maybe like 5 entries into that category, maybe. And you know, and 3 of those are from Echo Night. So I mean, if you get a chance to check out Echo Night on the original PlayStation or on the PS2 version, it's just creepy. That's pretty much all I gotta say. Echo Night, fucking creepy.
I'll have to check that out when I get the chance.
Yes, please do. Anyway, we recently got to see the latest Underworld movie.
Yeah, admittedly, I don't get to see too many horror movies in the theater, but I did see Underworld Awakening a few weeks ago, and I believe you saw it recently too. What did you think?
I have things to say.
Boy.
Well, okay, I love the Underworld franchise, except for the
Yeah.
for the third one. I
I actually skipped that one.
yeah, I don't consider that one. It was just completely unnecessary. This is what the third one should have been. Like Underworld Rise of the Lycans, like, should never have been made, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, it's a spin-off, it's a prequel, still just shouldn't have been made.
Seemed a little unnecessary.
Yeah, very much so. But this one takes place roughly about 6 months after the second movie, which is Underworld Evolution, and it's like Celine is like in cryogenic suspension. The thing that really pissed me off, is that Michael is not in this movie.
Yeah, he got hardly any screen time. He was there like in the beginning, and then they get separated, and you don't see him again for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, and see, that wasn't even really him. That was a digital copy. That was a body double, and his face digitized onto.
I didn't know that. That's messed up.
Yeah, that is beyond fucked up. That is a dick move.
Another dick move.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's got all the staples. It's got your awesome action sequences and everything. I just don't buy the whole thing about Celine having a child and having the baby while she's in cryo and all this other stuff. I just.
That didn't bother me. I thought that was kind of an interesting little twist there.
I just did not like it at all. Just not to say that I'm anti-child. I mean, that goes without saying. But the thing is, it just seemed unnecessary to me. It's just like, and they tried to have a very contrived like love interest, like as the Michael substitute. Come in and spoilers. There's another guy that comes in and tries to act as the surrogate love interest for Celine. And
I didn't really see him as a love interest. Maybe I'm just clueless. I never really saw him as a love interest. I just kind of saw them as allies.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh.
Well, see, that's the thing with Hollywood. It's like it's immediately when it's like two people of the opposite sex are together. It's like it's almost.
Yeah, it's like, okay, when are they gonna hook up?
Yeah, it's almost ingrained in our DNA to like okay, when are they gonna do it, and just how gratuitous is it gonna be? Is it going to be tasteful like Watchmen, or is it going to be tasteless like Original Sin? But yeah, I honestly don't really have a whole lot to say about it. I mean, it's an Underworld movie.
Yeah.
You're not going to go into this expecting like riveting, powerful storylines, and it's just like, you're a vampire, they're werewolves, kill they ass. That's the basic premise of pretty much every Underworld movie.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm not going to pretend that the Underworld movies are high art or anything, but, they're good mindless entertainment.
Exactly.
They're kind of more like horror-themed action movies, and it's kind of like The Matrix with vampires and werewolves. I think it's kind of cool. It's one of those movies where as long as the storyline is coherent and it holds my interest, I feel like it did its job. Yeah. Or it did what it was setting out to do.
Yeah.
Due to other things involving vampires being stupidly popular right now, we really need nearly 2 hours straight of just vampires kicking ass to balance it out.
Yeah, and
That's what I have to say about that.
yeah, and if said vampires do that in skin tight leather, that's just fine too. So yeah, that's pretty much my summations of Underworld. It's an Underworld movie, you know, go in there to have fun.
Yeah.
Just, you know, there will be guns blazing, there will be explosions.
Yeah, I mean, if you like Underworld movies, you'll probably like this one too. The one complaint I've heard from people that I guess is valid is that some people complain that it leaves off on a serious cliffhanger. And I guess they felt that that was kind of lazy, or that it, trying to hook a sequel.
Well, of course they are.
For whatever reason, that didn't really bother me. I mean, I'm like, oh shit, but it makes me hope that there will be a sequel. If there isn't a sequel, I'll be pretty ticked off.
Yeah.
But at least they imply that Marcus is going to come back in the sequel.
It's a very typical Hollywood type of thing to do now, is to just rope us in. It's like, we might do a sequel, we might not. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So, I mean, it's just, I just don't like that mentality with the way Hollywood's going with. I like my sequels to surprise me, not to be like, oh, you'll have to come back and do this. Like, I want to have, like, what would be considered a definitive end to it, like, just in case this doesn't pan out. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, have a viable reason for a sequel to happen.
Right, rather than they wanted to have a really long movie and then they ended up cutting it in half.
Exactly.
Which Kill Bill did, but it didn't bother me with Kill Bill either, because they feel like two totally different movies almost.
Yeah, Kill Bill Volume 1 is very much like a samurai revenge thing, and Kill Bill Volume 2 is just, it has a very, like, Western feel to it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's Underworld Awakening. Take it for what you will. If you want to just watch things go boom, go see it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Until next time, try to enjoy the daylight.
It's just creepy.